College. You are seeing the Basilica, the church here, and we might be seeing some Hail Marys behind us because the players are out there. They're practicing and getting started. So we're so happy to be here. First take on the road, day 2 of our training camp tour. And the Cowboys, they might need some prayers. Here's the story. The hits keep coming for Dallas, and by hits, I mean suspensions. Sources confirm that McClain's recent, Rolando McClain, his recent 10-game suspension is not just a failed marijuana test, but for another opiate, commonly referred to as purple drink. It's a combination of Sprite, cough syrup, and codeine, according to our Todd Archer, and first reported by Bleacher Report. When asked if McClain's career is over, head coach Jason Garrett said, "We're focused on the guys who are here." The Cowboys are already facing a $250,000 league fine for numerous suspensions of late. Stephen A., is it time for the league to step in with this Dallas team?
Absolutely. I definitely think that the league should step in. I don't think that they should leave the Dallas Cowboys to their own devices because, as far as I'm concerned, they appear to be an organization ill-equipped to handle this. Whether it's Jerry Jones being too preoccupied with marketing while trying to be the owner, the president, the GM, and to a lesser degree the coach, because none of us really consider Jason Garrett a head coach. We consider him a coordinator or a puppet master. Pick one or the other. That's what we look at him as. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys history validates everything that I've been saying. Now, in hindsight, just to backtrack a little bit, Ryan, because you weren't with us Monday in studio, I brought up how the whole Dallas Cowboy thing, locked arm in arm with Dallas police officers, everybody is trying to misconstrue that stuff, trying to get me to apologize. Let me be the first to tell you there's no way in hell I will apologize. I meant what I said what I meant, and I mean it today.
Sorry,
because all I was trying to say was, obviously, it was the right thing to do. And obviously, we're all sensitive to that issue, and we need to stop the violence across the board. Yes. Violence against the police officers, violence on behalf of some rogue police officers against unarmed black people. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys did the right thing. Yes. What I was saying is, in the throes of really, being in the news because of something like that, how about when the cameras are away and the news folks are away, that you conduct yourself in a manner that shows that you're respectful enough for law enforcement officials not to break the damn law all the time? Because I got a list of whole people. Now, I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to read the names, and I'm not going to read the offenses, but I've got
two pages?
I got 2 pages
oh, good Lord.
of activity on the part of transgressions on the part of the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all keep messing with me, I'm going to start naming names all the damn time. Will I do it, Ryan? Will I do it? You know I'll do it. Will I do it today, though? I'm not going to do it today.
I'm not going to do it today.
Is that in me? Will I do it?
You have done it, and you will do it.
Don't get me started.
You'll do it again.
Don't get me started. I mean, there's a whole bunch of names.
Just do it.
Nope. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to bring up weed. I'm not going to bring up violators because they used weed. I'm not going to bring up intoxicated manslaughter. I'm not going to bring up that because you're stealing cologne and a pair of drawers.
That's his favorite. That is your favorite one, though.
I'm not going to bring it up, okay? I'm going to leave it alone. All I'm trying to say is, in the end, the Dallas Cowboys have shown a propensity to be ill-equipped to handle matters themselves. When you got the head coach, Max Ryan, coming out sitting there talking about, I think we're fine. We're a model franchise. I don't have the quote in front of me, but Jason Garrett.
Great culture.
Great culture. Great culture. That was it.
Great culture.
Great culture.
For a great time.
Your coach is actually quoted as saying that. That's all I need to say. I'll leave it alone. Go ahead.
But when you say step in, right? When you say the NFL should step in, it would be an unprecedented move.
Yeah.
Not like the NBA saying, Chris Paul, you can't go to the Lakers.
Right.
The NFL doesn't do that. The owners run the league. They do. They run the league. But you look at the Dallas Cowboy decision-making. How many? No, it was great. I think all guys deserve a second chance. I think they deserve, if the league says they can play, I think they should get an opportunity to play on a team. But you can't give everybody a second chance. You can't give a guy a second chance. You see that your culture is not good for rehabilitating him and say, but you know what? We're going to get this one too. And then we're going to get this one just like him. And this one that was suspended or kicked out of the league or failed a drug test. You have to develop a culture of getting good people that are able to tutor these young men, that are able to help these young men, putting things in place where you win more of these situations than you lose. Because right now, all of these guys that we are giving passes because they can play football, the Dallas Cowboys are not helping them in life. Because if they go there and continue to do the same things, which it seems they do when they get to Dallas, they are not helping this football team, and they're not helping these football players.
And it's not the 90s. They're not getting it done in the field anymore either.
Speaking of which,
2000s, 20 years. Don't act like it's 10.
Purple drank. I mean, after Jamarcus Russell, you would think that's the cautionary tale. Just because it's not a powder, or you don't smoke it or something, or you come from a place where you see it around you, kids, that's a bad idea. Purple drank. To paraphrase Stephen A, stay off the purple drank.
Well, how about stay off the lean?
Stay off the lean. Stay off the lean.
Okay.
But
stay off the lean.
Let me say this. The Cowboys' misery is like mother's milk to me. Oh, when the Cowboys fans are having a bad time, as a Giants fan, I love it so much. Again, like Eric Cartman in that South Park episode, I want to lick the tears off Scott Tenorman's face. Oh, Cowboys fans, you're just, it's delicious. I love it. That said, here's the irony of the Cowboys right now, okay? This is the irony of the Cowboys. As Jerry Jones has ceded increasing control to his sons, to Stephen Jones.
Yeah, Steve Jones.
In fact, they are moving in the right direction in certain respects. What do I mean by this?
They don't draft Johnny Manziel?
They don't draft Johnny Manziel. And I thought, oh, you got to play for the Cowboys. And people like me were wrong, right? And Stephen Jones got his way. They devoted a lot of resources to the offensive line, which is not always the sexiest thing to do for the fan base. But 3 out of 4 seasons, they used their first-round pick on the offensive line.
And
here is where their culture goes
Tony
awry.
Romo deserves credit for that because he implored them to do it.
And they deserve credit for listening, But here's the where they go awry. They have a very high threshold for risk, the Cowboys. Now, that's like a kind of a baseball, a hitter who swings for the fences, so he strikes out a lot, but when he gets a hold of one, hits it over the fence. But what they've shown in recent years is that's been counterproductive.
Yes.
The reason these guys are falling in the draft is that if the best ability is availability,
they aren't available.
Their problems make them unavailable. They can't even get on the field. I think if they adjust their kind of threshold for risk, their tolerance for it, otherwise, in many respects, they're moving in the right direction. Now, in terms of should the league intervene, no, I don't think the league can intervene. But here's the real issue. If the league says these players are in the pool of players you can still employ, the Cowboys understand their temperament is then we're going to go after those players because we feel their stock is undervalued. In fact, where they go wrong is in evaluating the stock. Their stock is properly valued. That's why they're available to you. Right. They're not going to help you win.
Here's where I think you're missing. I think you're letting the Dallas Cowboys off the hook, specifically Jerry Jones. Here is why. Jerry Jones is such a marketing wizard, such a marketing genius. He literally lives by any publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad, because if you're talking about us, you're talking about us. And he has a fan base. That's the true reason why I hate the Cowboys. It's not because of the players. Dez and all these guys, I love these guys. I mean, there's a lot of good brothers on the Dallas Cowboys. I don't wish for them to get in trouble. I don't wish for them to get suspended. I don't wish for them to lose unless they're playing against my favorite teams. I don't have that problem with them. The Dallas Cowboy fan base is the worst in American history because they are the most delusional bunch of people that I've ever seen in my life. You could be literally 1 in 15. The Dallas Cowboy fan base will wake up the next morning. We gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Y'all, we gonna try. We win in the Super Bowl next year. They're totally delusional. They were in the mismatch last year. What was their record, like 3-10 or something like that?
4-12.
I'm talking about initially midway. They were like 3-9, 3-10. They lost like 8 or 9 straight. They were like this, man. We got a chance.
We one play away.
We just 1 play away.
But they were still fighting. They were still fighting in the playoffs, though.
I'm talking about the proudness of it all. I'm talking about sticking out their chest like we can still make the playoffs. Watch what we do. You 3-9, 3-10.
They still hanging on those Troy, Michael Irvin image.
Listen, they disgust the Dallas Cowboy fan base. Disgusts me. It's not the team. It's not even the owner because he's a brilliant businessman. It's their fan base, the worst, most delusional fan base in the history of American
maybe
sports.
they sipping lean too.
Can't stand them.
Yeah, can we finish this segment with your cautionary tale?
Stay off the lead. That's what we gotta do.
We will leave it there.
I can't stand the Cowboy fan
first
base.
take
It's
from
the fan
Steelers
base.
I can't believe I missed stay off the
When
lead.
we
I
come
missed stay off
back-
the lead.
I can't
That was
believe you.
natural.
When
I
we
can't
come
believe
back,
you.
Stephen
Oh,
A.
come
has no
on.
issue with Steeler Nation,
Right.
though. Speaking of which, Antonio Brown will join us. He's going to sit down with us here at the desk.
Get some, Antonio, bring some bass in your voice. I want to hear you sounding like Barry White. Well, you know.
Some treble, so you want some treble.
Antonio Brown next from Steelers Camp.